Hi and welcome to What's It Like with Yorks. I am your host, Yorkwin, aka Yorks, and this is our fourth season. We have been a little bit choppy, but we at the podcast at What's It Like are currently doing some revamping and some adjustments, and we wanted to be more not just transparent, but we also wanted to be more, how would you say, accessible, or the other word that you can use, more consistent and reliable. As such, we have created a slightly different space. As maybe you can notice that our studio has changed a little bit, and we're trying to give you a more consistent experience. And as such, here we are. We currently have a setup which is just 2 clicks away from starting, and we're even using a different platform, which we'll speak about more later. As you can see, the current topic for this podcast is what's it like in dating and relationships. I myself, I am married for 10 years now. We were married on New Year's Day 2014. And currently we have, you could say, 1.5 children, as we are expecting another child in the coming months. We are currently just waiting on our guests to arrive. They are a little bit delayed, but they're a little bit delayed. But until then, one of our guests is a friend of mine who has her own podcast, and I'll allow her to introduce herself. To the podcast, Think Different.
Thank you.
Um, So yes, I was saying to my listeners before that we are currently starting the fourth episode of What It Like with York, and this is the fourth season, sorry, of What It Like with York, and this is the first episode. So I just wanted to invite you and yes, so tell us about yourself, Think Different, and more about the podcast.
Okay, so Think Different is geared towards promoting proper mental health and proper mental well being and just having persons comfortable enough to share their stories, their experiences, and not feel as if they're being judged or talked over because sometimes when you're explaining something to somebody, they tend to kind of overshadow your story and say, so I'm gonna go through this, whatever, whatever, and then kind of forget say you're trying to tell them something. So I allow persons to get that platform that you share a story, and yes, I'm willing to listen. I'm just gonna ask you the question just to navigate how the conversation goes, but it's a platform for persons to just share their stories. Nothing that to say I'm an expert. I've had my experiences. I know what it's like. So I'm just allowing persons to get comfortable, talk about what you have been through, not feeling as if you're talking to a therapist and feeling as if, okay, I'm going to diagnose you later on. So,
Okay.
yes, this is advocating about proper mental health, proper mental well being, the importance of having self care.
Okay, great. And you just mentioned the podcast in while ago, but you know what it's like. So, nice of you to
Yeah.
hear. So yes, so I was also told that you're gonna have a guest on with us.
Unfortunately, that guest is still not available. So we have to proceed without that guest.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Um, I was also about to tell our viewers, listeners, that we actually met in college.
Yes.
Yeah, we actually met in college, guys, and the friendship became fast, and we've been friends ever since. And one of the topics for today is what's it like in dating and relationships. So
Right.
I was wondering, tell me about your experience. What has your experience been like? What's it like? what it was like, what it's like for you in dating and relationship.
Uh, to be honest, in my earlier stages, yes, I am a little bit old now, not so old and cranky. But in my earlier stage, I would say in my early 20s, dating was fun because I was always interested in meeting people. And I was always, I don't know, I'm just always curious to know about people personality. And I think being curious about that, it led me to understand people a bit more than just them telling me things, but, observe how them move in terms of actions, behaviors, patterns, and stuff like that. So I'm always like that. And dating was one of the channels for me to explore. I didn't have the people them as experiment though.
Okay.
But yes, dating was fun in my early 20s, and I realized that people, mm, uh, they didn't really know what they want. I
Mm-hmm.
think they were just interested in the idea of just being in a relationship because it sounds cute, like, oh, I'm a girlfriend or I'm a boyfriend or whatever. But they didn't understand like the fundamentals of dating. Like, if I'm going to date you, I'm going to have my options open because it's not as if we're exclusive. So a lot of persons didn't understand that. Myself didn't understand that until I read more, research more, and then, of course, get information from persons who are experts in the field of, dating or relationships. So dating for me was fun. Um, I didn't play with anybody hard. But I just had to lay it out to persons that, hey, we're not exclusive. I'm still gonna have my options open. And I did have experiences where persons dated me because, probably out of curiosity to see what it's like to date me, or for whatever personal reasons. It can be physical, it can be whatever reasons there is. Relationship, no, that part, I wouldn't say I've had all mushy mushy. I've had my experiences heartbroken. It can be on either side. I'm not going to say that I am totally smooth and I'm the perfect person, but of course, we all have our faults.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a learning experience for me with dating, sorry, relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned a lot during that process. I really discovered a lot of things about myself because with relationship, it's a more serious level. And when you experience stuff where you say, I never ever gonna go through that, or I never put up with that, but you grow with that person, feelings, you bond with them, and over a period of time, you're like, okay, I love them, but they tell me so, I don't want to go through this, but you go through because you love them, and you just over a period of time, you find ways in order to deal with it, or you sit down and talk to them and say, hey, this really hurt me. And is it that we're going to solve this, find some way we can correct this or something, depending on who you talk to? Because a lot of persons, they don't really care. Them
Mm-hmm.
just think that, remember saying in a relationship, they know me come about and them stuff, so why you make a big deal. So for me, what I practiced a lot is sitting down and talking to my partner and let them know that, hey, these are the issues that we're having, and I think we need to work on it. And
Mm.
in order to go forward, we have to focus on this. We can't like overlook it, or we can't avoid it, or we can't sweep it underneath the rug and just like behave at, it didn't happen. So yeah.
Yeah, I hear you touch on quite a few points there. So I'm trying to keep track while you were
Oh,
going
sorry.
through. No, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So first, going back to the original thing that you said that when you're dating some people, they would think that, oh, we're together, but you had to make it clear to them that, hey, we're not exclusive, and
Correct.
as such, basically pump your brakes a little bit. And that is something that I also am an advocate for, that especially in the Caribbean where we're from, Jamaica, let me speak for myself, we have dating wrong. Like if you're
Mm-hmm.
dating somebody, the word that is used is de, me and them de, but meaning that we're together. But that's not true. If you're dating, you should be open to be dating other persons, going out, learning about this person, because dating is really an interview. And like with all, it's like a job interview. And like with all job
Yeah.
interviews, you're not going to be interviewing just one person for the job. You're going to be interviewing many people for the job. Just because
Yep.
I interview you, I'm not going to say, "Oh, you're the person that's doing the job." No. I have to go through my information and my fact finding and then say, "Okay, these are the candidates. Let us do another interview to kind of whittle them down." And that's where the second and the third dates come in. So I agree with you there, whereby we have had to literally tell people, okay, hold on, draw the brakes, let us figure out what is going on first before we say, okay, we're exclusive. And also, I heard you mention something about you. There are some people who, like, you're interested in, and for whatever reason it fell through the cracks. I am interested in that part of it, because I want to know, because you're a very beautiful person. So I wanted to know,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I wanted to know, like, how, what was the reason for, those relationships going through the crack? Were they a nice guy, or was it like the bad boy? Because they always say that the pretty girls like the bad boys, and the nerds
Oh,
or the nice
Lord.
guys finish last. So tell me more.
All right. I wouldn't necessarily say they fell through the cracks, but with each relationships, they tend to teach you. And for me, I take a lot from each and evolve. That's what I believe in. So if I leave a relationship because of whatever reason,
Mhm,
that reason is not going to be what I'm going to move forward with.
mhm,
I'm going to evolve. I'm going to become a better person. So I tend to focus more on myself as I leave a relationship or whatever mutual terms and we ended.
mhm,
Yes, you're correct. That's a thing where, we don't want a little mix of the bad and the good.
mhm, mhm,
I mean,
mhm,
it gives a flair. It's some excitement about it, some adrenaline rush to it. You know, to be honest, having a completely nice guy, I'm not gonna say boring, but it might be on a little level where you're not gonna get that excitement that you're looking for. But
okay.
yes, it's going to be equivalent to being boring. But you do have nice guys where they don't showcase that side of them that a girl would look out for. But I think we yeah, I'm gonna say we I can't believe I said this. But we women we women tend to not give those guys chances to actually show us that, hey, they're able to do this for us. We're able to experience what they are looking for.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah. So, over a period of time when I understood that, I realized that, I was doing it wrong. I was like, oh my God, that is why I'm going to end up in toxic situations or toxic relationship, because I'm looking for these particular men, the bad guy, the gangster guy, the ones that are going to be the excitement because of what they're showcasing to me.
Mhm,
So, yes, do end up in those toxic situations. We're going to expect that that's going to happen in terms of result of we're not going to get complete what we want, because eventually excitement goes, because that's the type of person they are, and they're going to look towards somebody else because they don't enjoy themselves with you, so they want someone else now. So they might get all sort of problems.
mhm,
So, do nice guy finish last? Typically, yes, they do, because we females tend to not give them that chance. But I should say, you do have nice guys, like that's their characteristics or that's their trait, but you have a next set that they use it as a tactic. They know that some females may be drawn to a nice guy. You might say to a guy, "Oh, you know what? Never see a guy do this to me, or they never buy flowers to me." And then the guy sit down and say, "Yeah, man, I hate this, buy the flowers, open the car door."
Mm-hmm.
shower, and all these things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sometimes a bit hard to tell a difference. You have to really know, like you have to really observe. I know probably it might sound like a lot, but it's important because at the end of the day, emotions are in play. So you have to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, as I say, you learn a lot. And for me personally, I have relearned a lot of things, realigned a lot of things, and given them a chance.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, again, a lot of things. So I'm gonna have to unpack it from the beginning. So you said that a lot of you women, you look for the exciting guy, whatever, and then it ends up in a toxic relationship,
Right.
toxic situation. Tell me what is or what was the most toxic situation that you were in?
Whoa, Lord. The most toxic situation, relationship, was when I felt like I was losing myself, losing my identity.
Mm-hmm.
I was so much invested in that relationship. I was pouring into that person so much
Mm-hmm.
and wasn't realizing.
Mm-hmm.
And that word, that wording about spiritual bonding, trust me, it's powerful. And that relationship taught me that,
Mm-hmm.
head on.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that particular relationship, you know, I just lost myself. I didn't even recognize my own self.
Wow.
And things were really going downhill because eventually the person wasn't able to connect with me as how I would want them to connect with me.
Mm-hmm.
And things just became so spiral and physical. And when it reached that level, definitely toxic, definitely a time to like cut ties. But it wasn't easy, to be honest. People might say, oh, if it became toxic, why didn't you just leave? But when
Mm-hmm.
you're invested so much, especially emotionally, it's pretty hard. Trust
Mm-hmm.
me, when you're in the situation,
Mm-hmm.
it's like somebody tell you foot them, you hand them kidnap you, and you just, say no way out. But it was it was a process, and God had to be in play, to be honest, because it was a spiritual bond that I had to
Mm-hmm.
break, and I had to find myself and
Mm-hmm.
get a grip of myself. I know that I can't be doing this. I have to invest in myself first and ensure I put myself first.
Mm-hmm.
So yes,
And
I
and
realized it was toxic when I was losing myself.
and how did you like give me some practical steps that you took to literally step out of that relationship?
I started to meditate more. I went to church.
Mm-hmm.
This was very random. I
Mm-hmm.
was there when everything spiraled and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and I was on Google scrolling through. I was
Mm-hmm.
baptized in Adventist church, but for some
Mm-hmm.
reason, I just wanted to find a church where I could connect with properly.
Yeah.
And I was scrolling and I was like, I need to find a church and I want a church. I think I was scrolling like Monday and I wanted to find a church that was keeping something on that
Mm-hmm.
particular day, but unfortunately not. But I was scrolling and I saw a church keeping like, I think you call it Washfoot. Yes, Washfoot. On
Okay.
Wednesday. And I was
Okay.
like, it's the only church we can find right now. And I just need to go to church because I think I need to connect with God.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the information, I reached out, they gave me further details and put myself together and I went.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and I felt a bit out of place because I haven't been to church in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good. They were welcoming, after the whole thing, this lady, she just approached me like a mother. Like she knew what was going on, didn't say anything to her, but she saw it on my face.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so warming for me. And I realized that at that point, God was really reaching out to me, but I was so engulfed in that relationship. I was just blindsided to everything. So my first major process was getting back on track with God, my
Uh-huh.
spiritual life, my spiritual journey.
Uh-huh.
And with that, I started to read my Bible again. I started
Uh-huh.
to pray more.
Yeah.
And praying was not like, no, Father God, watch over me and everything. May I tell you some intense prayer, bring tears to
Mm.
my eyes. A lot of persons don't know I pray that intense. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, those prayers are the one that really connected for me. So I really just focused mainly on my spiritual journey. I decided to come off social media platforms and became ghost and
Mm-hmm.
just really focus on my journey.
Mm-hmm.
And it has helped me so much. And I limit how I communicated with persons. And I basically tell persons, hey, I'm on a different chapter now, different journey. And to
Mm-hmm.
be honest, we're not going to have any idle talks. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't want you to talk about how I used to be
Okay.
because I'm now evolving. And if a person keep on having that conversation, naturally I'm going to cut it off. It might
Wow.
sound harsh, but I want to go on a different path,
Mm-hmm.
and that feels as if it's like pulling me back.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to cut those connections.
So how did he take it? Like the person who you're with, like I can just imagine you starting to go to church. He is thinking like, what's going on here?
That particular relationship, they didn't have a clue what I was doing. I became completely silent. No connection, no communication. They had reached out to me by message, lengthy message and stuff like that. I expressed to them that I forgive them,
Mm-hmm.
not because on the sake of them, but on the sake of me, because of what I experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've had some mistakes during that relationship that I have to take the blame for, but that particular moment was on them, and that couldn't continue.
Mm-hmm.
But they had no clue of the process that I was going through because I was completely silent and I detached myself completely.
Mm. Wow. Wow. That took some courage. I can just imagine it was one of the strengths
Yes.
of God that took you through that
Only
time.
Father God. Trust me, only Father God. And silence is a powerful weapon. Silence and just focus on your spiritual journey.
Mhm.
Trust me, best recipe ever.
Wow. That's nice because I'm sure that there are some people out there who are probably going through similar things, whether it be toxic relationships or whatever, and just hearing your story from somebody who has been through it and was able to, with the help of God, step out of that situation. And in the earlier answer that you gave me, you
Hmm.
then mentioned that you know with this renewed spiritual focus or mindset, you're able to give the right person or persons a choice or a chance.
Yes. Well, before I answer that, I should also include that I had a very strong support system
Mhm.
while going through what I was going through because mentally I was shut down completely.
Yes.
And my friends, one and two family members, and just associates, persons I've done business with, have been a very strong support. So I'm definitely not going to leave out them. But
And what
of course,
about
I'm
that
at
woman who
first.
you met at the church?
Yes, she has been following up with me, still praying for me. I give thanks for her. She has just really been a mother to me. I feel like I know her a long time. So, yes,
How
I
long
have
has
to give
that
thanks for
relationship
her.
been going
Sister
for?
Joyce.
How long has
Go again?
Sister Joyce? How long has the sister? Sorry. How long has the Sister Joyce relationship been going for?
I met her the Wednesday, that time when I went to the Washfoot,
Mhm.
and up until now, we have still kept in communication. I update her, tell her everything that's going on, and she's happy and she's still praying
Mm.
for me and stuff like that. So, still keep in communication with her because I have to give her thanks for just being there as a mother for me, not knowing me like that, but she just, open her arms and just welcome me just as our own.
So that's what, like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. What?
No, man, no, that would have been few months, a year. Yeah,
Okay.
about a year.
Okay. Well, anywhere you are, Sister Joyce, watching this, big up yourself. Thank you for
Yes, yes.
allowing our sister here to be in a better mental stead. And
Yes.
you're yes. So go fast forward now to the whole being able to give the nice guys
So
a
with
chance.
that journey, with that journey, it has been whew, a load lift off me.
Okay.
And I was able to know, look forward to getting back on track and, bonding. And of course, I I've known my partner for a while. We have been friends for forever. Hasn't been a talkative person. I would have been more of the communicator. And yes, of course, I would say he's a nice guy. And I mean, our personalities can differ at times, but as I said earlier on, I'm a type of person where I try to understand you in terms of asking the questions. We might have some conversations, but I go more in depth with the conversations. Because again, for me, I believe that once you understand where a person is coming from, you can understand who they are now, because a lot of that plays on their personality
Mhm.
and traits, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
And it 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 shocked a lot of persons because of how I am. I can be a bit rough around the edges, surprisingly,
You don't say.
and I'm a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. You know, people are probably saying no, well, but I'm a little bit strict when it comes on to certain things because I'm a structure person. Yeah, I'm a structure
Okay.
person. And I like things aligned, not controlling. Some person might find it as controlling, but it's not controlling.
Mhm.
But to lessen confusions and for us not to have misunderstandings. Because people tend to do things innocently, but then because they don't understand, the next person doesn't understand, it kind of spiral out of no reason. No, none is supposed to go behind it, but it spiral because they don't know each other, they don't understand each other properly. So yes, I do a lot of those.
Mhm.
And I can say that, yes, I have given the nice guy a chance, and I am married. I am
Oh,
happily married. We have
I'm
had
glad.
ups and downs, but of
Mhm.
course, I've found ways how to deal with those stuff and understand a bit more. It's a bit interesting. It's a bit different for me, to be honest.
Mhm.
And of course, I've shared my experience about my previous relationship
Mhm.
with him, and he was supportive. He was helping me even through the process also, and allowed me to make certain decisions where, just pacing me, not rushing me to say, oh, well, I understand you go through this, but we have to go through this. No,
Mhm.
so I have to be appreciative of that
Mhm.
totally.
So, okay. So first of all, congrats on being
Thank
married. It's a rough road. It's a
you.
rough
Yes.
road because I'm married 10 years now, and even this morning we had very strong fellowship. And but and even with expecting our second child now, she's halfway down the journey, and just 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 understanding that. Uh, you also mentioned that he understands your past traumas, and he has been very understanding and caring and patient with you with that.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's something that I would like for us to touch on, because not a lot of people recognize that. First of all, it is my belief that everyone, no matter how privileged you are or how poor you are, have all been through some kind of drama, some
Right.
kind of crap, something in your past which scarred you as a person, and as such,
Yeah.
you are either using it as a crutch to hurt other people, or you are actively working on getting over it. And one of the things that I wanted to know is that it, in you giving this person a chance, what specifically was it about him in the early stages when you just met him and was speaking to him? What was the difference that you saw in him that made you say, maybe I should give this guy a go at it.
He he had patience.
Okay.
Sometimes I find it very weird, but he was patient
Mhm.
and he had like a healing spirit. I couldn't really like break it down, but I'm an energy person and sometimes we might look left and say, no man, left look nice and green. But then gotta show it right and I say, look over here, so there and him something there. So I was in that zone where I had to step out of my typical thinking and turn towards what's best for me and what I can build towards.
Mhm.
I've always said this and I've said it to him. I'm not going to build with someone that I don't see a future with.
Mhm.
Yes, some persons are just good for a relationship, which can be a, short or long term. But when it comes on to marriage, I take it serious. I've never had no coach. I've never read no guidelines.
Mhm.
But I believe that once you reach that level with a person, you have to really stick it out. And I think I don't necessarily believe in divorce, but if it works for you, it works for you. But I just believe that you have to really stick it out because you made vows. You knew how serious these vows were.
Mhm.
It's not
Mhm.
no play,
Mhm.
and yes, of course, it's going to be hard times. We have had those times also. There are times where I can't necessarily go to him. I have to go to God. I have to go on my knees. I have to pray. And I learn a lot about myself, being married to him, because again, his personality is more of the quiet and reserved. Mine is more outgoing. And, I'm a nature person. I
Yeah.
like to go out there. Sorry, I like to go there and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So I learned a lot. I learned a lot.
Mhm.
And him being patient has really helped because we're able to learn. It's not a hurry, and if you know this because in a situation or whatever. So we learn a lot with his patience and with my understanding. We learned a lot and we were able to go forward, even though we may have like mishaps and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. It's great that you said that, and I must say, whoever you are, Mister Sir, big up yourself. You are doing wonders, and my prayer is that you guys continue going not just 10 years, 20 years, but for the rest of your life.
I said, all I
Uh,
agree.
yes, old and great.
Tell us I'm not gonna lick him with a walking stick.
Yes, that is time when you
So,
can't
and that's
talk.
that's the next thing too.
Mhm.
You have to be able to have fun.
Mhm.
People kind of stiffen things like, "Oh, you're married now, so it's serious and uptight." Still have fun.
Mhm.
We're not here forever. I
True.
mean, you still can kid around, and with that side of my personality, it helps also. Just running some joke and run up and down like a picnic, be
Yeah.
free a little bit. You get what I say? It works. I mean, yeah, we're adults. I mean, life already I hit you hard. You just want to free up a little bit. If life I hit you, then a person I hit you harder. It puts a lot of strain on the person,
True.
to be honest. So free up a little bit, giggle a bit, run some joke. I mean, something might happen, and you might say, this and that and whatever, but you pull a joke from it. It's
Yeah.
not you say yeah, be disrespectful, but pull a little joke from it. Say, me get over them something, man. If feel no way or whatever, we just laugh about it.
True.
So yeah,
True.
respect is key. To be honest, respect.
That's very true, and that's something that I agree with you wholeheartedly, because I've always believe it is my belief that a man can put up with many things, but you disrespect him, he's gone, he's out the door,
Yep.
and it is very hard to come back from that, and
Very
it
hard.
is, yeah, it is very hard, because the truth of the matter is a woman's power is really her tongue, and a man's power is his strength. And when you disrespect a man, it takes a lot out
Ego.
of him not to use his strength. And when a woman feels strongly about a man, especially negatively, it takes a lot out of her not to use her mouth. So it's kind of a yin and a yang kind of situation. And
Yeah, I think when we both, men already know.
mhm,
They naturally have an ego. It's just how they channel the ego. But we women know that you guys think highly of egos.
mhm.
And when we say, yeah, man, that's why you can't lift up the box or something, weak. So we know that I got hit a nerve.
Yes.
So yes, the tongue it's tricky, and it's not just a tongue but the ego. No one
Mhm.
don't want to feel like, oh, upon the box and the light and she come to us and we can't pick up, I'm weak and them something
Yep.
jelly back.
Hmm. Yep. Jelly back.
So yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's I just think that partners, whether married or relationship, they
Hmm.
have to just really understand each other and respect.
Yeah.
It's love is good. It's an emotion that should be practiced and taken seriously, but respect tops it all. Respect will put boundaries. Respect will carry far places. Respect would your partner good all feel some type of way, and just out of respect, they just try to work on certain things. So respect is like just the top at the top.
Mm,
And a lot of people don't take it that serious, but respect is very, very essential.
definitely. And with with that being said, what would be your advice to, first of all, your younger self, and also to other persons about, dating, relationships, and even marriage and love and marriage?
To my younger self,
Hmm.
you should have taken your time out and healed properly.
Hmm.
You should have never carried your trauma into certain situations and believed that it was your fault. You should have healed properly. To persons out there, young folks, don't get ahead of yourself. Do not try to set a time frame. Have goals, but don't say within a year because a year can come
Hmm.
and it doesn't happen. And then now you fall in depression and then anxiety start take you over. And then now you start thinking to yourself, why? Why may I go through this? Why this not happen for me? Give yourself some time. It will happen. You just need to push more, focus more, and ensure that the right people are around you. Social media is all glamour. Take away those phones and look into a person's real life, and you realize that they're struggling just like you.
Hmm.
Social media just puts out the glamour and glitter
Hmm.
because everybody want to reach a Hollywood.
Hmm.
As it relates to just generally, take time out to understand people. Don't look at it as a task. It's not a task. It's just being appreciative of understanding a person more so you can know how to relate to them. All of us speak a different language. Yes, we understand that we have English, French, and all sorts of different languages, but personality wise,
Hmm.
we speak different, we reason different, try to understand persons on their level. Don't say a person slow. Don't do that. You're offending a person because you can be slow with certain things also. So try to understand a person, listening to them,
Hmm.
not trying to overpower what they're saying. Don't try to dictate to them. Don't try to be a therapist, an expert, trying to say, oh, I think that you are crazy, or I think no. Take your time out, listen to them, hear where they're coming from, try to give your 2 cents, and try to find a way to express yourself without trying to insult a person or making them feel as if you're discrediting them or something. Try to make them feel as if, yes, I'm comfortable talking to you. You make me feel uplifted.
Yeah.
So that is my advice to persons.
And you said you speak different, you reason different, and you think different.
Yes, yes, and that is why I had the name
I
Think
think
Different.
different.
Because persons ask me about it. Why that name? Because I try not to think typically. I
Mhm.
mean, yes, I'm a female, I'm not a man, I can't speak for everybody, but I try to have an open mind. An open mind, people tend to just associate it with something sexual. It's not.
Mhm.
Having an open mind, you're willing to just listen to a person, hear their reasoning, not try to overpower a person. Just try to understand them more.
Mhm.
And not just thinking that, oh, they researched this, so this is a definite fact.
Mhm.
Everybody gonna say what them say is fact.
Mhm.
But when you really check it out, it's not really fact. It's just how you summarize it and
Mhm.
how you reason it and how you conclude it. So
Mhm.
it goes back to your own opinion, not necessarily factual. And
Nice.
if you get the facts, I'm most somewhere you get it from.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
yes.
Exactly. But
Mm.
I mean, I love this conversation, and we could go on for hours. But we
Nice.
all have our our busy schedules.
It is.
So, so is there anything that you are currently doing or promoting, or like the podcast? When is the podcast aired and stuff like that?
Okay, so the podcast is pre-recorded. Persons tend to, oh, why not do video? Why not show your face?
Hmm.
To be honest, York,
Hmm.
you have gotten me to show my face after so many years. You like to show my face.
Oh,
And it's not about
and it's still
being
the
shy.
mask.
I still have a little shyness in me,
Yes.
but I just want persons to hear. I want persons to listen. I don't want persons to be distracted because once you go on video, persons tend to fix what themselves. Oh, them look good or them start fix them here and they're so
Hmm.
distracted. And I realize that once I do the audio with persons, they're more in tune, they're more relaxed, they
Hmm.
share more, and it becomes like a conversation. We just sit down and we up on the phone and talk.
Mm.
So I am still somewhat gearing towards doing videos. Still not sure because again, I rather to go faceless.
Mhm. Okay.
But
Okay.
what I'm working on now is really still pushing out the importance of mental health, mental well-being, self-care, and persons understanding that you're suffering mentally. I have come across persons that may say, I don't know what to talk about when it comes on to mental health because they're in
Mhm.
certain field. We all use our brains.
Exactly.
So we all have something to talk about when it comes on to mental health.
Mm.
Stress, depression, anxiety, whatever. It's right across the board. A lot of persons don't even realize that they're suffering from traumas.
True.
And they tend to react towards certain things and say, oh, because I'm upset or yeah, me just have a bad day. No, sometimes it's a trigger and they don't really understand
True.
how to really associate it with a proper term.
True.
So that's what I'm pushing now. I mean, I've had my days where mentally I just want to just break away. I don't want to talk much. I don't want to do any research or post anything. So I have had my mental break. Person might think that, oh, she good to go and she up and she running on. No, 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 no. I'm still living. I still do have my times when I just want to meditate. Lock out the world and meditate. And I take those times very
Very
seriously.
seriously.
Very
I
serious.
got you.
I don't want to lose my mind. I don't want to lose my brain. I don't want to lose my thinking, my thoughts, because that's how I am able to connect with persons, listen to them, and try not to let their story drain me. Because sometimes you hear a person's story and you feel some type of way, like, boy, them really go through that, and you pity them or
Hmm.
show some sort of sympathy towards them. But
Hmm.
I have to remain neutral, and just give my 2 cents and hope that whatever advice I give to them, it works for them. I can't guarantee, like, yeah, I know for sure what me I say, I know said this definitely gonna work. No. I can give my 2 cents based off what they're saying and hope that my advice can work for them.
Okay. Nice. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I appreciate this. I appreciate
Yes,
you coming on and showing your face somewhat because
yes.
you're still kind of disguised. But
The next thing, because persons might wonder why the shades, but
mhm,
I do have an issue with my eyes, with
mhm,
glare and lighting and stuff like that.
mhm,
So that's the next thing why I try to
mhm,
not be around lighting, camera and
mhm.
stuff like that. And I still have a little anxiety issues too. So
I
the
understand.
shades will help with me.
I understand. I understand. I
Yes,
understand. But thanks for coming on. Think different.
no problem.
We look for when does the podcast air again? By the way.
The podcast is not a particular hearing, but
Hmm.
you can just keep subscribed to the YouTube channel. Of
Hmm.
course, it's Think Different Podcast on
Hmm.
YouTube, and I tend to pick certain days. I can't particularly say, every Thursday, every day, you just have to be subscribed
Okay.
and you turn on your notification and
Hmm.
you see it. And
Okay.
of course, I tend to send it out to persons. So I would say weekly.
Okay.
Weekly. You can keep tuned in. It's
Okay.
not something that it's live, it's pre
Hmm.
recorded, and the video is post. You will see for the productions persons clips or pictures, but it's pre recorded, nothing
Okay.
live.
So just go to YouTube and search for Think Different Podcast.
Think Different Podcasts, or to make it easier, think underscore different. Well, yes, think underscore different
Yeah.
dash XM1KK to make it easier.
Okay. All right. No problem. We'll have that in the show notes, and also we'll try to get it in the link in the description and
Slide.
stuff like that, and
Yes.
probably as a title underneath. So
Okay.
this has been great. Thank you
Definitely.
for joining
Definitely.
us, and I also thank all those that are either watching this or listening to this. This has been What's It Like with Yorks, and this one was What's It Like in Dating and Relationships.
Yes.
Thank you guys for listening, and see you again next time.